Do you struggle as a free-to-play player in Midladder? Don't worry, because I created a brand new free-to-play account starting from scratch to guide you through the gauntlet of Midladder with 3.0 Xbow Cycle. Also, yes, I'm playing Goblin Hut. Trust the process. In this video, I'll teach you everything you need to know to succeed. Also, I created a new channel dedicated to stream highlights and even made my own podcast. The most recent episode is with Aragon, another top Xbow player and creator, so I'd appreciate it if you checked it out. Link in the description. Alright, my friends, welcome to the brand new free-to-play series, as I'm going to be showing you how to survive Midladder as a free-to-play player. I'm joining you guys down in the ranks myself. Brand new account, 0 past Royales, bought 0 in-game purchases. We are all completely natural, and we are off to a great start as we are up against Doge, who is a level 11. My entire deck is either level 9 or level 10. I've kept it underleveled intentionally, and I'll be showing you guys the entire process of getting through the ladder gauntlet as an underleveled player, as someone who has lower levels than opponents, and just showing you guys the entire process with Xbow. So my opponent is not doing anything, gonna go for the Xbow, and wow, he goes for a level 12 Royal Giant. And this is already not looking great because obviously RG not the best matchup with Xbow, let alone one that is 3 levels higher than my towers. Thankfully the E-Spirit does chain those bats, and that's actually 0 hits, which is perfect. Now, I'm going to go for the archers because I feel like he spent a lot of elixir there. RG plus bats, and I feel like he has a bad cycle because he has no Skarmy. So, yeah, really awkward cannon, and those are actually really good archers. Punishing my opponent, even though my cards are all underleveled, as you can see, you can make really nice plays based on your mechanics. If you know exactly what you're doing, if you know that the opponent is low on elixir or has a bad card cycle, you can make punishes accordingly, and that is off to a great start in this first match here. So I'm going for 5,000 trophies. I feel like that's a good milestone to get on the free-to-play account, and Evo RG archers at the bridge. I think I have to get back to my E-Spirit to kill those archers. Let's go for the log E-Spirit, and then wow, the E-Spirit gets killed by the RG damage. Okay, Evo archers can hopefully cook. You might be wondering, how do I have the Evo archers? The answer is Clash Royale did a free giveaway of Evo archers and Evo Tesla. Looks like my opponent just ignores the entire night because he went all in, so you still get more damage than him, and I don't know, I mean, I feel like at this level, it's all about skill. You can be underleveled, but you can just outplay players by having better decisions, and my opponent is not back to the RG. I was counting his cycle, and so we're going to get another Xbow lock, and I'm going to let that E-Spirit, or Ice-Spirit go, because I know he has bats in this deck. I want to save, and as you can see, he just wastes the Evo archers, and really aggressive RG at the bridge. Now, one question you might be having, I probably answered this in the intro edited before this, but I'm playing Goblin Hut. Just trust the process, guys, until they nerf it. Goblin Hut is one of the most broken cards in this game, bar none. It is so busted, and because you can only have one evolution, I'm playing with the Goblin Hut instead of the Evo Tesla, because I feel like Goblin Hut is unironically a better card than base Tesla. And of course, if you don't have a high enough king level, you will not be able to have 2 evolutions in a deck. So even though I think I do have the Evo Tesla from the event, I actually am not able to use it because I don't have a high enough king level. So as you can see, game 1, free to play, over-leveled Royal Giant, and we're able to win with a 2 crown. Like I said, Xbow Cycle and this game in general is a lot more about skill than about levels, especially at the lower level, and my goal with this video and series in general is to show you that you can still win against overloaded players just by being better than them. So off to a wonderful start. We are into our next game against Kaka.com, another level 11. Love to see it. I hope you guys are as excited for this series as I am, because honestly, I have not done a fun Xbow ladder series or just Xbow series in general in what feels like forever. And I know this is what you guys want because you always ask me, how do I get through mid ladder? How do I beat overleveled opponents? How do I beat hard counters? And again, my goal with this entire series, level 12 Mega Knight by the way, is to show you exactly how it's done and just demonstrate myself. Now, let's try and activate the King Tower right now. The Spear Goblin is going to spawn slow skellies after the fact. Absolutely perfect interaction there. Go for my E-Spirit, which does not even kill his Witch Skeletons, but we do still get that King Tower activation, which is really lovely, and my Knight gets shredded by his Witch. Unfortunately, as you can see, no matter how well I play, those are some really nice micro plays, and I don't feel like I did anything wrong. Of course, my E-Spirit did not kill his Witch Skeletons, and so we are just kind of down damage, but the benefit is, number 1, we have a King Tower activated. That's going to be really helpful. Number 2, I feel like my opponent is just not very good at the game based on the fact that he spent his entire bar in the first 1 minute of the match, and so I would like to instill a quality in you guys that will take you far with Xbow Cycle, but not only in the arena, but in life itself, and that is patience. Patience is key. Now I can tell I'm up damage, so I'm going to go for, up elixir rather, so I'm going to go for an Xbow, and my opponent goes for a really weirdly placed Tesla. I do not know what the purpose of that is, nor do I know why he would go for a Mega Knight in the opposite lane, but let's just go for a Knight in the middle. Like, okay, wow, that is, not what I actually planned to do. Wait, let's go for a Knight and log everything back, and okay, this is actually really bad. I'm surprised that didn't pull, but I think we will be okay. No, this is not exactly what I'm looking for. Let's go for an Xbow immediately because he's low on elixir, and maybe we can make something happen in the tower trade situation. Most likely no, because we are underleveled, and it's going to be impossible in tower trade situation, let alone when I'm down 3 levels from my opponent, to actually come back. But I'm going to try my best, you know, maybe we can make something happen. You guys have to trust the process. I like to go for these plays, buildings around this placement, you know, kind of tucked next to the Princess Tower, and just defensive because they love to spam in the pocket, as you can see. Yeah, so we're going to be just defending this, and I'll try and just pretty much survive until I'm in a favorable position to be going in. So it looks like we are actually okay right now. Really aggressive Evo Tesla in the pocket, and I feel like we can't even go in actually, because like how can I go in, right? Like there's no timing to do so. I guess I'll do it now, but I feel like he's back to Mega Knight pretty soon, so I don't know. Let's go for the Knight as well. And we actually get a lock. Wait, what is happening? Okay, we get a lock. I don't know if this is going to lead anywhere. We'll go for a Goblin Hut again and just see if I can make something happen right now. I mean, I really need something to happen right now. Let's go for a Fireball and everything too, and I need to log as well, but the problem is I don't have that much HP to tank. My Fireball log does not kill the Witch, and so this is just a world of hurt. I actually feel like I might be dead. Let's go for the E-Spirit 2, chain onto everything. Thankfully, it still chains. We are actually alive right now, against all odds. We are alive. He gets a Mega Knight down. Let's go for the Knight, and I need to make sure I take no damage in either side, both my Princess Tower and my King Tower, because if I do, it's over. This guy seems to love his Teslas in the pocket. I don't know why. Let's just try and take that out, and then we need to go in, but like this is not the greatest position to go in. I need to go in though. Like I just don't have a choice, and that is actually on tower. Hold on. Let's go for the Fireball on the eye drag. Make sure I'm actually getting this lock, and can I survive? I don't know. You guys will find out in the next 5 seconds. Evo Archers just protected. Let's go for the Log E-Spirit to kill his archers, and then Skelly's to hold this Mega Knight in power shot range. I can't believe what we're doing right now, but we actually might be able to win this game. Like, I can't believe I'm saying that. It's a tower trade against Mega Knight Witch with 3 levels higher than us, like I said, but I feel like this is somehow doable. I don't know. I just have a good feeling about this. So he wastes the Mega Knight. Let's go for the Log E-Spirit to kill the archers. He just goes for an aggressive log as well. He's low on elixir. Maybe something can happen right now. Let's go for the Knight to block a Witch potentially, or a Tesla. Eye drag gets on top of the Knight. Oh my god, we are actually winning a tower trade. I forgot I even had a Goblin Barrel, to be honest. Let's log that off. And somehow, some way, I do not know what is going on, but we are in the damage lead. Like I said, this dude has level 12 cards, and we are winning a tower trade situation. Level 12 Mega Knight, level 12 Witch does not die to my E-Spirit, does not die to my Fireball log, and we are still winning. I mean, it's just insane, and I actually think I'm actually going to be fine right now, because I'm going to go for the bow. I'm so nervous and tense that I missed my Xbow placement. That would have been game if I hit that, but let's make sure we defend this Goblin Barrel and get one final Fireball log on the tower. As you can see, that Xbow definitely would have locked onto the tower, but somehow, some way, we pulled out a miracle. That is a tower trade victory against, once more, level 12 Mega Knight, level 12 Witch. I am unsure how to describe what just happened, but we are 1 trophy away from 4,900, and we have not lost yet, so I'm feeling pretty good about this. Next match against Simon Raya. And I promise that game would have been much better and cleaner if I just hit my Knight on that Mega Knight. I hadn't activated King Tower. Of course it was tough, but still, I don't know. So one of my principles against expensive cards, like, you know, Wizard, Executioner, Electro Dragon, for example, in the back, is I like to Xbow opposite aggressively in single, and I'd like to warn you guys that that's not always the best play if you don't know every permutation of what can happen after you do this, but as you can see, he's kind of low on elixir because 5 elixir at the back is not a cheap expenditure, and so we're actually going to get a pretty good Xbow lock. Even though we take a bit of Wizard damage, we got a positive trade on the Wizard, and I'm okay with this position because I feel like if we trade damage off, it usually benefits me more than the opponent because I know interactions, and I feel like I'll be more comfortable in these situations. wins. Gonna go for the Goblin Hut on the Witch. Like I said, we're just like talk about Goblin Hut again. You know, it just has infinite potential because usually people don't run big spells in this trophy range. They have like Arrow Zap or Rage Arrows, or you guys know exactly what I mean. Not only that, so they can't kill the Goblin Hut and you can protect it and get infinite spears, but it actually does counter push. As you can see, we force out the most random E-Wiz ever. It's actually such a powerful card because you just protect it well and it just gets infinite value. So I feel like the Goblin Hut is just really underrated, and again, until they nerf it seriously, because they've nerfed it like 2 times now, it is still broken. Look at that. We are actually in the damage lead after that Goblin Hut counter push, and we didn't even have to do anything. All you have to do is protect your Goblin Hut with Knight, Skeletons, or E-Spirit, or a combination of all 3, and you will get free value. Let's go for the Xbow, because I feel like he doesn't have the best cycle. He goes for a Wizard at the side. I don't know what that's about, but as you can see, it really does pay to be aggressive with this deck sometimes. Like I said, I'd like to instill the quality of patience in you guys. You should not be aggressive if you don't know how to deal with it, but if you're a more experienced Xbow player like me, playing aggressive in single is sometimes the only way you can win against hard counters, especially against heavier decks, because, you know, they struggle in single elixir. Their decks just don't really do that well. Another thing I'll tell you guys, against witches, wizards, and all that stuff, you shouldn't really go for fireball logs on the tower like you normally would, because, like, if you just can't kill them, it's just not going to kill them, right? So, like just now, I went for the Goblin Hut instead of the Fireball, because I just wanted to set up on defense. As you can see, the Goblin Hut is just getting a lot of damage on the tower every time. Evo Archers will take out that Wizard pretty much, so that's really helpful, and we're just chilling, like, immensely. Gonna go for the log on here. Don't be afraid to log against Goblin Barrel decks. You can either go for Archers, Skellies, or Archers E-Spirit, or even a Fireball if you need to. And I haven't had any opportunities yet, but don't be afraid to defensive Expo in this range as well. Like I said, most people do not have big spells. I think every opponent we played so far didn't have a big spell, if not mistaken, so defensive Exos just get infinite value. And say it's hard to make progress, they have 50 billion tanks. What should you do? Think about their deck construction. Do they have a big spell? If not, go for the defensive Expo. So that is yet another win. That is 4,900 now. All right, W, I don't even know how to say that name, but we are creeping up to 5K, and I'm feeling really good. I mean, all these players have higher leveled cards than me, but like I said, you can play well. You will be able to win even in tower trade situations against level 12 Mega Knight and level 12 Witch. I will not be dropping that, guys. I know I've talked about it like 50 times already, but I'm going to keep talking about it because I'm proud of that win, man. So this guy, okay, I don't know what that was about, but I'll just take this really nice log, and okay, apparently my log does not kill princesses. You guys probably remember when they did that balance change where they nerf log for no reason, and now it just doesn't kill princesses and dark goblins when it always used to kill +1 level higher, but yeah, I don't know why they did that, but this is going to be tough. I actually have this question I get all the time, which is about the Xbow upgrade order, and I think I'll either make a video on that on its own, or I will talk about this in the next episode of the free-to-play series. I'd like you guys to let me know in the comments if you want to see me elaborate on that, but I don't recommend prioritizing log over something like Evo Archers, Xbow, and your more important cards. At the end of the day, cards like Dark Goblin and Princess are 1 in 5 matchup cards. You don't face these cards all the time, whereas cards like Mega Knight and Witch and all of that, you face this every single game. So in that sense, it makes sense to cover what you face most often, rather than what seems on paper like a bad matchup. Like, yes, it hurts that log doesn't kill Princess or Dark Goblin, but you can deal with them in other ways. Whereas, would you rather have an underleveled Knight and a higher level log, and then just die against every Mega Knight player? So just think about it, really. And I'm going to go back to what I was talking about in the previous match, and just go for a defensive Expo, because I don't know what my opponent has, but what I do know is he most likely does not have a big spell. And so if I want to build an advantage in mid-ladder, I'm just going to go for a defensive Expo. Really good micro there, protecting my Expo and making sure the tower is targeted onto the baby dragon. As you can see, sometimes they just don't know how to act when they see a defensive Expo. And I know this is probably why Expo is so hated, but patience is really a virtue with this deck, and there's no point going in. Let me tell you guys, there's no shame in playing the proper way as well. There's no point going in when the opponent just has 50 billion tanks, or, you know, overleveled Mega Knight, or one of 50 other cards. Like, I've played decks that have Mega Knight plus Knight plus Valkyrie or something stupid. I know you guys face that too, like E-Giant, Valkyrie, Ice Golem, and you're like, how do I break through these 50 tanks? Well, sometimes you don't. You just go for the defensive Expo, and I'm really trying to instill these values in you guys. Just give you the best tips for free-to-play and mid-ladder with this new series, like I said, because I get these questions all the time, and I need to teach you guys. I'm here to help. I want to help you get better. So right now, we actually have a pretty good position. I think I'll just continue to split my archers and get back to the Evo Archers. So especially if they don't have a spell like arrows, Evo Archers can get so much value in mid-ladder as well. even if they do have arrows, if you outcycle them or bait them out on the wrong thing, you know, they can just get so much value. Here I'm going to go for the log, even though it doesn't kill the princess. I mean, it's still just, it's a good value log. I'm going to take it. And here, exactly like I was talking about, Evo archers, they're going to shred everything that comes their way. And my opponent is just struggling. Let's go for a second Xbow, keep the pressure up, and he is just crumbling. So you can see, I got momentum with that first defensive Xbow, then I just played well, got back to my Evos, and used them accordingly. So Evo archers, Evo singular, I guess, but there's just a way to play this deck. If you play it correctly and execute, you are going to be able to win against anything. Alright, my friends, 2 wins away from 5k. Hopefully you guys are taking something useful from this video. Hopefully I'm able to help you out in terms of Xbow tips and macro playstyle factors about how you should play this deck. You know, I have many years of experience, countless top finishes with this deck, so I'd like to just, you know, step down to a lower league and kind of put myself in your guys' shoes. I know most of my audience is casual and not really as competitive as me. I just want to help you guys out. So like I was talking about, sometimes people just don't know how to act when you see an Xbow. I like to split archers, and then if they play something like expensive or something like that, I just go for the Xbow opposite lane. And right now my opponent just genuinely does not know how to act, and I know that sometimes you guys will say, oh, your opponent played so bad. Here, I'm going to let that Goblin Barrel go because I actually want to conserve Elixir in case he has more. I could have easily logged, but I want to be safe and patient. Another tip I'll tell you guys is don't always overcommit to your Xbows. I saw some people in my Discord server earlier, I was giving them advice. Sometimes you guys are too aggressive with your Xbows, and then you double down and go Tesla at the bridge or Knight in front without even knowing what the opponent has. Just be safe, just be chill, you know? I'm going to go for the Fireball here because I think my Fireball log, even though it's a level 9 Fireball, should kill that witch, hopefully. I kind of forgot what I was talking about earlier. Oh, I remember now. Okay, Loon, Goblin Hut should just full counter all of that. Look at how good Goblin Hut is, man. Look at this. So we're going to spawn, like, a lot of Spear Goblins, and Loon is just not even going to stand a chance. And look at this counter push. We have 4 Spears. Do you guys see the vision now? I hope you see the vision. Goblin Hut, like, I know I didn't explain it that much, but like I said, it really just comes down to if you don't have 2 Evos, then you should use Evo Archers. That's the best Evo for this deck. And then Goblin Hut is just better than base Tesla. I really believe this. I had them at the same level. I tried them out, and this is the tech that I have come up with myself. Trust me on this, guys. Trust me on this. I'm going for the Fireball on the Witch again, and then I should be okay. We took a lot of damage there, but I think it's still fine. Like, don't panic when you see damage either, you know? Don't overreact. Don't get, like, emotional and play incorrectly. Play logically at all times. Go for a defensive Xbow. What I was talking about earlier, I always see people comment, wow, your opponent played so bad, or wow, if I was against this guy, he would not have played this bad. You guys have to understand that sometimes, I've had this conversation with Hypno as well, a good friend of mine, another creator. Sometimes players like me and Hypno make, this is not meant to sound egotistical either, we make the opponent look like a really bad player. Doesn't mean they are, doesn't mean they're making the wrong plays, we're just making all the right plays. And so, like, sometimes you guys might go for aggressive Xbows like you see me do, but then you don't know how to defend the permutation that comes after. Like, say they ignore it and go Sparky Goblin Giant opposite lane. How do you defend that? Sometimes you don't know how, and so I promise it's not as easy as it looks. You don't always just get lucky, at least us creators. I don't know why I felt like talking about that, but I've had some comments like that from time to time, so it just came to mind. Anyways, we're about to take the second tower here, so really nice win against a pretty interesting balloon deck. I count this as a 2 crown, honestly, and we are 1 win away from 5k now, so ladies and gentlemen, let's make it happen. Alright, we're here. Moment of truth against Napoleon YX1. This is the game for 5k, and we've had a crazy road here. I mean, most games have been pretty good, but that Mega Knight tower trade was certainly something else, right? So, Mini P.E.K.K.A first play. Okay, Baby Dragon. You guys will encounter a lot of players playing with this. I'm going to show you guys a trick I like. Knight for the Baby Dragon, and then Skeletons for the Mini P.E.K.K.A. It kind of got retargeted there, but that was still pretty much the principle. I like to go Knight for the Splash card and Skeletons for the DPS card. Same principle applies to Mega Knight Prince, a very common trend that you see, especially in Mega Knight Wallbreakers decks. You go Knight to tank for the Splash card that'll take care of Skeletons, and you don't want the Knight to get DPS down by the DPS card like a Prince or a Mini P.E.K.K.A. Then you go Skeletons, with perfect micro timing, of course, to tank for the DPS card and not get splashed by the Splash card when that's on the Knight. Hopefully I explained that correctly. I'll try and show you guys again if I get an opportunity to do so, but I'm just going to go for the split archers. My opponent is not doing anything, so there's 0 risk if you split archers, the opponent leaks. There's 0 risk in going for an Xbow, provided you let it die. Like I said, I see a lot of you guys when I've reviewed your gameplay, you play too aggressively. Let your Xbows die, get more comfortable with this, because as you can see, since I just completely let that die, was able to do this, and here's exactly the principle I was talking about. Like I said, E-Spirit's a tank for the Baby Dragon, Skeletons immediately when the Baby Dragon is distracted on the Mini P.E.K.K.A, and that is a perfect sequence. 0 damage taken, and shout out to the Goblin Hut, because that card is busted, bro. Like, look at this. That card is busted. No one's going to convince me otherwise. And we get a free Spear Goblin. Why? I don't know, because the developers decided, let's make Goblin Hut the most broken card of 2025. I don't know, man. I have to go for Goblin Hut again right now. Don't really want to, but I have to. And it's actually going to get so much value because we're going to get like 3 Spear Goblins for no reason. And he still has to respond to this, so I can definitely go for an Xbow. Like, well, let's go for an E-Spirit first, protect these Evo Archers. And he's solo on Elixir. Yep, he's so low. I protected my Evo Archers. I'm going to go in, and he is dead. I guarantee he is dead, because we just sequenced everything perfectly. We got our Evo in line, and this is just such a clean game for 5k, because this shows you everything. My opponent was just spamming everything at the start. You will encounter a lot of players like this. You will encounter spammers, and then after that fails, they will spam chicken emotes. They'll spam Prince Pride emotes, like calling you, you know what they're calling you, and 50 other things. They're just compensating for skill issues. This guy, I'm going to BM him back because he's been BMing me since like second 1 of this match. Try and get a nice fireball on the Baby D plus Witch. Beautiful, beautiful value. And now we just have to sit here and defend, and this is the true pleasure. When an opponent is just spamming you and you just defend perfectly, constantly, like this is really why you play Xbow. As you can see, Spear Goblin still alive after the Goblin Hut, and no damage taken. We have untouched towers right now. Just going to reset with a Goblin Hut, and then I guess we can go Knight Evo Archers in the pocket, maybe. He does drop his Mega Knight. Of course he has a Mega Knight, but it was not enough. I'll say the good game at the end, you know, it is 5k, and I'm not a very petty person, and I'll just let it go. You know, he's going to be crying about it. I'll give him a thanks just to add a bit of salt on the wound, you know, why not? Like, this guy, he is upset. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is 5k with free-to-play 3.0 Xbow Cycle. What a lovely feeling. And we are going to reach our... Okay, what is this? You need a higher king level to progress the next arena. I guess we pushed too high. Like, they're saying we have to level up if we want to keep going. I don't know what that means. I've never seen this before in my life, but I will take the free gems. I will take the legendary chest. And like I said, I hope you're able to learn a lot from these games today. That was a great series. And let me know if you'd be interested in me continuing this free-to-play series.